Hello all, Jamie Carbot here, non-diet fitness trainer, helping you transform your relationship with exercise so you enjoy it. What I'm going to talk about today, what hopefully you'll learn today, is a few ways to spice up your walks or your runs or your jogs, whatever it is that you like to do on a regular basis outside. We all know that walks, runs, jogs, all of these things are really good for our mental health, whether they're 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But if you're anything like me, sometimes they can get kind of, dare I say, boring. And cool. Boring's fun every once in a while. Wait, boring is not fun. That is the opposite. Anyway, boring. We can live with boring for a little bit. But if you want some ideas to spice up your routine, your walks, your jogs, I'm going to give you 5, 6-ish ideas. So the first one is going to be pick out landmarks. So let's say if you're on a walk in the city, you pick out street lights or the lines on a sidewalk, or maybe a neighbor's fence or something, where just picture where you're walking and you're like, okay, I'm gonna speed walk until the end of that street light, and then I'm gonna to slow it down, or I'm gonna do something until the next tree, and then slow it down, speed it up a bit. I like to pick out things that maybe I can see, because it takes my mind off of what I'm doing, and then it actually connects me to nature as well. If I'm doing it in a forest, we used to live by a trail in where we used to live on the other side of Germany, and I would pick out certain trees, like, cool, okay, I'm gonna make it to that tree, and then I'm gonna walk a little bit, or I'm gonna briskly walk to that fern. I'm just picking out things. Obviously, you can get very creative with ways that you can think about landmarks depending on where you are located. 2, I got like a bubble in my throat. Very split times. So lots of different ways that you can, let's say you're going on a 10-minute walk. I'm just going to use a 10-minute walk for an example. You're going on a lunch break walk. Obviously, you can do I'm going to go on a 10-minute same speed walk, or you can say I'm gonna walk briskly for 20 seconds, and then I'm going to jaunt, slow it down for 40 seconds. Split it up in ways like that. If you're comfortable with jogging or running, you can say I'm gonna do 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. I have my trusted Casio here, so I always will use my Casio when I'm doing any sort of split times. Maybe walking for a minute and then jogging for 30 seconds, but I'm more focused on the time. So again, it kind of gets me out of my head and focused on not just, I'm gonna go for a 10-minute boring walk. I'm gonna go for a 15-second walk, and then a 30-second brisk jog. Lots of different ways that you can split this up, but that's what's really fun about it, is you can start to see how this can get creative, and you can mold it and make it your own. Number 3, pick a playlist. So this is something that I really like if I'm super bored or like not wanting to go out. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out for these 3 songs. I'm gonna take a walk for I can't even think of songs right now. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? And I'm looking at my 2000 iPod right now. I'm just 3 songs, maybe is 10 minutes. And so that is a fun way. Obviously, it gets you out of your head. You're moving, you're grooving, you're dancing to whatever. But you can also take the song and make that into splits. Let's say you walk quickly for the verses, and then you jog for the chorus, or you slow jog for the intro. You kind of pick up the pace for the choruses, and then during the verse you sprint or something like that. So that's another fun way that I like to split up some of my walks or jogs. And again, I used an example of 10 minutes, but you can expand this out to a 30-minute playlist, or however long you want. You walk for a whole song, run for a whole song, whatever it is. I'm looking at my little script over here. Very tempo. So I've talked about this in other examples, like with the landmarks, but I actually have like about 9 different tempos that I do when I go for a walk, run, jog, whatever it is. So I kind of do a slow warm-up walk. Like this is, I am walking with my grandma, I'm going pretty slow. And then I have walking, Then I have like a brisk walk, like, okay, I'm late for class, you know? And then I have a speed walk. My speed walk is, I mean, I can only sustain my speed walk for probably like 30 seconds. It's difficult to do. And then, you know, I have a light jog, and then I have, okay, more of a jog. And then I have kind of what I call in my head, a heavy jog. And then I go to a run. So I have split up walking and jogging into like 3 or 4 different speeds. So when someone says walk or jog, I'm like, okay, well, how fast, what speed we're going to, you know, I have these things in my head. And then with running, it's kind of, you know, I got my low speed kind of jog run, and then I got my sprint. Again, kind of like the speed walk. I can only sustain it for, you know, 30 seconds, right? We're working on those fast twitch muscle fibers. And then number 5, you see me, I'm like really dark. I need some light in the front. Make it silly. So this is something that I really like to remind myself in my head of, channel my inner child. I am fortunate that I have an 8-year-old right now that I can watch and observe and just see how playful she makes things. But one thing that I notice in children is when they are running or jogging, if they have that ability, they don't even ever do it in a straight line. They're not like, oh, I'm gonna go on a 10-minute run and run. At least mine doesn't. So I really love channeling my inner child and like, oh, I'm gonna walk backwards for a little bit, or I'm gonna side shuffle and then I'm gonna walk straight, and then I'm gonna side shuffle the other way, and then I'm gonna walk. Some other ones I do are, you know, kind of like a high knee. Sometimes to like really freak people out, I'll zigzag. Like, you expect me to walk in a straight line? Well, I'm gonna do this, you know? Which brings me to another one. I actually like to break up my walks and do like rotations or things like that. If you're talking about you really want people to stare at you, I am very good at that. I can have ideas for that all day. So yeah, I know I said 5, but I have a 6th one. The tried and true. You can just go for a walk for 10 minutes and not think about any of this stuff. Or you can just go for a walk for, you know, 15 or 20 or whatever it is, 5 minutes. We're focused on mental health here, like walking, jogging, running, whatever you enjoy to do kind of on a regular basis for your heart, to get out to see nature. It really makes a difference mental health wise. It's so good for our body, heart and soul. Heart and soul, I fell in love with you. Piano. To get out there. So really important. I like all of these examples and options. So let me know if you like one a little bit more, or one sparked an idea, or maybe you don't find walks boring at all. Like, that is obviously an option too. For people who are like, I love my walks. The funny story that I have about that is my mom used to always kind of drag me on walks. Like, Jamie, please come on a walk with me when I was younger. This was, I don't know, elementary school. And I not only hated walking, I wish I could go back. Like, I love my mom so much. I wish I could go back and like really enjoy those walks with her. But I was such a complainer throughout those walks. I mean, I'd be like, Mom, I have a bloody nose, or like, Mom, I gotta go poop, or Mom, I gotta pee on the side of the road. I think one time I even started my period. Like, I was just a mess. My mom's like, never mind, I never want to go on a walk with you again. And I did it. I was like, score. So anyway, I really enjoy walking now though, and I think it's just because of all of these different aspects that I have. So hopefully this brought up some ideas. If not, don't worry about it. Leave them in the trash. And yeah, remember, movement for more, movement for mental health, movement for shifts and getting creative, movement for creativity, movement for more, because you were made for more. I'll see y'all next time.